Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Becca and today I have my March book haul. So these are actually all of the books that I have acquired in both February and March. However, I only bought one, I think, in February, so most of them are March. And as usual, I have library books, books that I got secondhand, books that I bought new, and a couple of gifts. So you know how these things work. I'm going to start off straight away with some merch that I received. This is a Triwizard Letter from the Etsy shop Triwizard Letter. I will put the link in my description box. And this is a stationery based subscription letter type thing where you are sent 3 stationery or bookmark type items, and I received one of these to show you guys. So I'm just going to show you what's in it. I have already unboxed this in a vlog. So first up we have this beautiful Daenerys print with her dragons. This is like a postcard size. We also have a magnetic Night King bookmark, which I'm going to put on the string with my Happy Hello ones. And my personal favourites are these Tonight is Game of Thrones planner stickers, which I think are really cute. I have a Happy Planner and I obviously watch Game of Thrones, so I can't wait to use these. So if you would like to purchase a Triwizard Letter, the link is in my description box, and the Game of Thrones themed Triwizard Letters are still in stock if you would like to get your hands on these items I have here. So the first book that I received this month was a gift from my booktube bestie Rachel from Rachel Marie Book Junkie, and she thought that my birthday was a lot sooner than it is, so she sent me Record of Spaceborne Few by Becky Chambers. This is the 3rd book in the Wayfarers series, and this is a series of companion novels that follows different groups of people as they travel through space. I believe that all 3 of the books in this series are very character driven sci-fis. I absolutely loved the first book and I believe that it could be my favourite book of the year so far, so I'm really excited to get to the rest of this series, and I will hopefully be reading the 2nd one soon. Now moving on to our library books, the first one I have is Memoirs of a Polar Bear by Yoko Tawada. Now the reason that I picked this one up is that Yoko Tawada has a new book out in Waterstones, but it's quite expensive because it's a translated work and it's very short. So I searched my library system and they did not have that book in, but they did have this one, so I thought I would give it a go. Now the synopsis of this book is a little bit insane, and this book follows 3 generations of polar bears who are also writers. So this is, I think it's kind of like 3 short stories following each polar bear in this family and the experiences they have. Like, one's a performing polar bear, one's in a zoo, and they're writing their memoirs. So yeah, it's magical realism, as you may be able to tell. Don't normally get on with that, but this book was too bizarre for me to pass up, really. Then we have Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna Maguire. This is the first book in the Wayward Children series that follows a group of children who are in a home, essentially for rehabilitation, because they have all been to portal worlds like Narnia and have then since returned home and are struggling to adjust to normal society again. I have read this before, but I got this out of the library for rereadathon, and it was my book for a second chance, because while I enjoyed this the first time around, I listened to the audiobook and didn't particularly like it, and I think that it would be a lot better if I read it physically. I didn't have time to read this during rereadathon, but I did read the first chapter, and it is so beautifully written, and I don't think I got the same atmosphere and vibes through the audiobook. So I am still going to reread this even though the rereadathon has passed, and I'm hoping and praying and thinking I'm gonna really like it. The next one I don't really know too much about, and that is Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. Now Books and Lala talks very highly of this, mainly because she likes the title of it, and this cover is very different from the US one. But this is a collection of stories that focus on violence towards women. From what Lala has said about it, it is really good, really difficult to read, and really heart-wrenching, and that's kind of what I like from a contemporary book. Not normally a huge fan of short stories, but I'm hoping it will work with this collection. The only book that I picked up secondhand this month I have only heard a little about, and that is A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. All I really know about this is that it has mental health rep, and I know there are 2 books I always get confused, this one and the pink one with a birdcage on. Is it called Under Rose Tainted Skies or something? And I know one of them has really good rep and one has really bad rep. I'm not sure which is which, but I am really interested in giving this a go. I wasn't actually going to pick it up because contemporaries, I like them, but I don't love them. But this is a US copy, so it's like really hefty and floppy, and I was like, you know what, for £1 I'll take it. For the new books I have acquired this month, I of course have The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I literally just finished this, but this has been present in my last 3 vlogs. It is a 800-page behemoth, and it took me a while to get through, but I did really enjoy it. But regardless, this is a epic fantasy. And how do I summarize like the plot line of this? This follows a world that is separated primarily between the West and the East. They don't really interact. The East is scared of contracting the Red Plague from the West, and the West consider the East to be heretics. The East are dragon riders, and there is also a group in the South who are dragon slayers. And despite all this bickering and everybody not really getting on, one thing that everybody does have in common is that they are scared of wyverns. In the Grief of Ages, the wyverns were conquered. However, there has been increasing signs of draconic activity, and everyone's pretty sure that the big bad wyvern, the nameless one, is going to return pretty soon, and everyone has a different theory of how they're going to take him down. So that's kind of like a very summarized plot of this. There is a lot going on here. It is an epic fantasy, but that's kind of like the main goal, is to take down the nameless one. And you'll be hearing a little bit more about this in my March wrap up. This month I also purchased Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. This is the sequel to City of Brass, which is about a woman who accidentally summons a genie and is carted away to the City of Brass. I haven't read City of Brass yet, but you guys know how hard it is to get hold of UK hardbacks when they're out of print, and so because I have the UK hardback of the first book, I got the UK hardback of the second book just in case it sold out, and I had to pay a fortune and sell some of my organs to get hold of it. And then the last book in this haul is one that does not technically belong to me, but I'm going to buy myself a copy very soon, and that is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So essentially my friend Dora is from the US, and she wanted the Waterstones copy of this, which has the rainbow cover, black sprayed edges, and is signed. You also have these beautiful end papers. And while I really like The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Daisy Jones and the Six follows a rock band called Daisy Jones and the Six, and what happened and the reason that they broke up, and I believe it's all in an interview style format. Now, I did not really want to read this book because I don't like books about music that much, until I picked this up and saw how beautiful it was. I read the synopsis, I read the first page, and now I'm going to post this to my dear friend Dora and go buy myself a copy at the weekend. So I'm using this as a stand-in prop until I go get my copy at the weekend. So that is everything for my March book haul. Please let me know if you have read any of these books and what you thought. Please also don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to. If you head into my description box, you'll find a link to my Goodreads, Instagram, Twitter if you'd like to follow me on any of those, as well as a link to my Bookish body butter and candle website, the Instagram for that, and a 10% off discount code. But that's it from me today. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you will go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.